Hello, my friends. I'm so excited to be sharing this with you today. I saw this book before I went to Disneyland Paris with other bloggers, and it's a book all about Phantom Manor, which is the Disneyland Paris version of Haunted Mansion, which is one of my favorite attractions. So when I saw that they had a book all about Phantom Manor, I knew I would absolutely need to get it. So let's take a look. Anyone who's a fan of Haunted Mansion, you might recognize this. It's a wallpaper pattern. And I just love how beautifully this book is laid out. You can see really subtly in the background of this page, the Phantom. He's like a ghost, which is perfect. This book is actually in both French and English because it's from Disneyland Paris. I love this sign. Anything that's like these vintage style signs, I'm into. The Thunder Mesa Town Council advises town folks and strangers who wish to investigate strange occurrences and enigmatic histoire of the abandoned Ravenswood estate, now widely known as Phantom Manor, may do so expressly at their own risk. In the event of possible misfortune or misadventure, neither the sheriff nor fire department will accept to approach the grounds. Signed, L.M. Chicken. Sorry, I am chicken. Okay, so they say that Phantom Manor is one of the most iconic and mysterious Disneyland Paris attractions. It has become iconic due to its uniqueness and remains mysterious due to the shadowy secrets that surround its history. Who is the formidable phantom for whom the manor is named? What really happened to Melanie? Is the unsettling young woman who haunts the halls in her bridal garb? So many questions have remained unsolved for so many guests and fans of the attraction. The renovation that took place in 2018 was the opportunity to find many of the answers to these questions. It gave Imagineers who design and build Disney parks, attractions, and resorts the chance to revisit this favorite area of Disneyland Paris, revealing new details about its history and adding new illusions for a more immersive experience than ever before. This book, a celebration of the beloved attraction, reads like a visit to the manor. Each chapter speaks to a particular time or place in the experience, all the better to reveal its mysteries. So don't waste another moment. Climb aboard your doom buggy and set off on a journey through the legend of Phantom Manor. I can't wait to show you what I found. And again, we have these amazing, what looks like ads and old newspapers talking about the manor. I love the layouts where it really looks like a flat lay of their desk. You have the old pocket watch, the feather pen. This whole book is just a piece of art to itself. A spectacular home. Spectre. This is one of the original concept art for Phantom Manor, and I just love it. Like, you see the richness of the color, you see the like spooky hands coming over, you see the garden that's just been disheveled and left. Stunning. The legend begins. The enchantment of Phantom Manor begins the moment we enter the property's gates and step foot into the gardens. Observant guests will find several clues about the history of this once glorious structure, built in the late 19th century by the Ravenswoods, a founding family of Thunder Mesa. I love these signs that they have. The fate is sealed. As the manor gates, at the manor gates is a plaque with the name of the attraction. It brings us right into the story. From far away, the plaque's border is unremarkable, but when you look close, you can see the interlacing serpents. This is based on Ludwig van Beethoven, who is known for battling his inner demons. I love that they chose all the plants for the garden to make it look overgrown, to make it look just sort of sad. You have these like weepy trees, and it just looks, downtrodden. It just gives that air as soon as you walk up to it, that it feels like it's been left unattended for a long time. And you have all of these things that make it look really lived in. The tea set that's waiting for someone to come to tea. The lights that are, have a bit of cobwebs on them. It makes it feel like it's been around for a long, long time. You can see the bare branches that reach skyward creepily. Sort of like overgrown underbrush. All a part of the attraction. Oh, I love this artwork as well. So, Phantom Manor is different from the other mansions in that it outwardly looks decrepit. I know that Walt Disney really wanted the mansion to look pristine from the outside, but this is the one that sort of breaks that tradition, and I think it really works. So you can see that they went through a few different ideas when they were coming up with the concepts. They even went back to some of the very first concepts for Haunted Mansion. I think it was, 1953 is where they went back to in the Disney archives. And the Phantom Manor is located on Boot Hill, which, let me see, there's something about this. Common in the American West, where cowboys might have been buried with their boots on. So they were talking about how, where the inspiration came from. Like, a lot of people think that is from Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's film, but it went further back than that. And the artist Harper Goff, or I guess technically the Imagineer, was basing his original drawings on American houses from the late 19th century. Done in that Second Empire style, which is so commonly associated with haunted houses. So the cool thing is, because it's in Europe and you can have people with many different languages, they wanted to convey a lot of the story without words. So they use, imagery, visuals, and the music to convey what is happening in the story. So this is really cool because you can see the construction of it. And you can actually see the outbuilding where the actual attraction is housed, which is really cool. Thank you to all the people and your hard work for making this. I was going to say bringing this attraction to life, but maybe that's the wrong term. From shadows to paintings. So there we have Melanie, forever a bride, never a wife. I just love all of the sort of creepy, macabre artwork. If you've ever been in one of the, not all of them, but many of the Haunted Mansion style attractions in Disney, you will recognize this. The stretching room. There's no windows and no doors. And it reveals a lot of the story, actually, with Melanie and her fiancés and how they came to their untimely death. Voices from beyond the grave. This is like you walking through, and I love that they have the little detail of, the barriers on the side with the golden bats. So, since they didn't want to use language, they used song to really convey what's happening. And you can hear Melanie's haunting voice, and it's just beautiful. And the lady who recorded it was actually an Imagineer, which is so cool. And she actually worked with the vocal coach that worked with Michael Jackson, Barbara Streisand, and Stevie Wonder. So her voice is spectacular, and it just adds such a layer of emotion to the whole experience. And now we have a little bit about the host. You definitely hear the Phantom laughing away in the attraction. The descent into the abyss. I really like this. I don't know, is it a painting? No. You can see the marker lines, which is something I love about these. You know, you can really like sense what the artist was doing. And you can see them in their doom buggy and how they will be moving through the attraction, which is so cool, I think. So here we have Melanie at the bay window. You can see that there's a storm happening outside and you don't know. Is that foreshadowing something? Is it just a storm? But you get in your doom buggy and you continue into the journey. And what's cool is because it's kind of set up like a movie, and then the doom buggies swivel around to show you what the Imagineers want you to see. So that's how they control your view, and the attraction works like going through a movie. It's really neat. Here we go. The technology that Disney developed is called an omnimover. So they're all on a track, but the individual little seats, little doom buggies, can swivel around to show you what to look at. Now, if you are a fan of Haunted Mansion-esque attractions, you'll certainly know who this is. Madame Leota, Calling the Spirits, an absolute classic. So Mystic Manor is another Haunted Mansion-esque attraction in Hong Kong Disneyland, but the storyline is actually incredibly different from these ones. And the Paris attraction definitely has nods to the original Haunted Mansion. I love the ballroom scene where you see the ghosts dancing around, having a party. In this one, they're actually in the middle of reception for Melanie's wedding, which never actually happened. So you can see the ghosts at their feast. Master Gracie. Now, Yale Gracie was like a legend in the Disney Imagineering world. This was sort of his baby, or I guess Haunted Mansions were his baby, so they still pay homage to him in the newer version. And actually, I don't know if you've seen on Disney Plus, I think it's probably the Imagineering story. They actually talk to this Imagineer, Daniel Joseph, about his work, who's really carrying on the torch from Yale Gracie, Master Gracie. He even figured out how to do the Hatbox Ghost, which is something that they tried to do for years and they just didn't have the technology to do, but he has figured it out, so I think that's so cool. So here we have Melanie looking into her mirror, and you can see the phantom reflected in the mirror, but the phantom isn't actually in the room. A little creepy. There he is. The happy chappy phantom, as I have heard a vlogger say, and that's just what I call him now. In all of his glory, he's digging a grave. Oh yes, and then they have Grim Grinning Ghosts, which is a great song that the ghostly busts sing as you pass them. It's kind of a classic. It is a great song. Speaking of songs, the music for Phantom Manor is impeccable. You can actually find some recordings of it on YouTube, and it is so good. I actually played it this Halloween when kids were coming to the door. It really set the mood. And very cool, the music was actually filmed in Abbey Road Studios, which is where Abbey Road from the Beatles was recorded, and also the John Williams score for Star Wars, which I'm not even a Star Wars person, but man, that soundtrack I think is one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic movie score of all time. It's just enduring and amazing, and you can't listen to it without feeling something, you know? Amazing. So here we have a map of Thunder Mesa, the world in which the Haunted Mansion lives. And here we're talking about the audio animatronics, which are the really lifelike sort of figures that are brought together by electronics and a lot of hydraulics to make the movement. They're very realistic. Let's see, how many? Here we go. Phantom Manor includes 50 audio animatronic characters and over 60 animated props. And you can see here Walt Disney with his first audio animatronics. If you've ever been in the Enchanted Tiki Room, you know what this is. That's really what sort of kicked off the success of this. Ooh, Resurrection. So this is in the crypt, and it has the tombstones to Melanie's 4 suitors. And actually the names are pretty funny, and I think most of them are nods to people who have worked on the attraction. So here we have another sign, which is what they use when Haunted Mansion was closed for refurbishment, or I guess renovation we would say. It was getting a whole new update. And again, it's just like, how can you not love that? It's signed by I'll Be Back. And here's some of the people who worked on it. So cool. And it's really cool that they had the European team working with some of the people back in the studios in Florida. And part of this renovation journey just gives a nod back to Walt and his idea about how everything can be improved. Like he's saying here, whenever I go on a ride, I'm always thinking about how it can be improved. And I think that's something fun to just include in your own life, you know, like appreciating where you are and what you've accomplished already, but also realizing what can I do to make things even better, you know? I think that's so cool. Love that. Prepare to exit to the living world. And we have this absolutely beautiful art, which is depicting Thunder Mesa. We have Phantom Manor right here. We have Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. The fort. It's so cool. And I know that this is done in a style of like a prolific American artist. And you can just see like that sort of like rich, lush style come through. And I think it's so cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I hope that you enjoyed this look at Phantom Manor Decrypted. Let me know if you've ever been or if you would like to go. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super cool. And I'm so happy that I was able to get a copy of this book and also share it with you. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful sleep.